Hello and welcome to my final Belmont Stakes analysis at Saratoga. And as you can see, I'm at Saratoga right now. How about you, Sigi? Where are you?
Hi, how are you doing? Very well.
All right, let's get started. I'm not at Saratoga, but let's go down the list. And we'll start off with Vitruvian Man, the long shot. And we were just talking about him. He's 30 to 1 on their morning line. Off his form, I can't see him hitting the board, but as I said, sometimes Doug O'Neill surprises me with his long shots. What do you think of him?
He only has one race this year, and that was in the Santa Anita Derby when he was a distant third. And that wasn't a bad race. And according to Brisnet, he recorded a 92 in the speed figures. So he could be a prize for the exotics. Probably for the superfecta, I could use him underneath.
I'll have to think about it more, but right now I can't get there. Number two is Power Shift, and he just comes off a maiden win at Churchill Downs. That's my big concern with him. He only has a maiden win. I know he ran in the Tampa Bay Derby, but he didn't run well in that race. I just don't know if he can handle pressure in a graded stakes race. What do you think of Power Shift?
Well, Power Chief is 12 to 1, but I think he would be a lower price in the race. And he will be the speed of the speed. Probably people would say he can steal the race um, on the speed. But the only race he ran pretty bad was when he ran without Lasix. He had some troubles, I know, at the start, but he needs to prove that he can run well with no Lasix.
You make a good point. His only race that he didn't run well was without Lasix, and it came in a graded stakes race. I just need to see him run well at the graded stakes level without Lasix, and he hasn't done that yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down to number three, Chief Wallaby. He is 3 to 1 on the morning line. And I do think he has a chance because he had some trouble in the stretch run of the Kentucky Derby. He was bumped around a little bit, and I think he could have gotten closer than 3 lengths. What do you think of Chief Wallaby in his trip in the Kentucky Derby?
Well, Chief Wallaby is a really good horse, but my problem with him is he's a horse that always take money. He's a kind of money burner. People love this horse, probably because he's trained by William Mott and Sovereignty won the Kentucky Derby last year. And some people would say he's something similar to Sovereignty. That's probably the reason this horse is taking money every race. He ran well in the Kentucky Derby, but again, he would be a bad price. And that's the reason I'm looking elsewhere. He can win, but it's a horse that has only one victory. He just broke his maiden, and then he has some defeats on great stakes. He has no wins on great stakes. So I'm trying elsewhere.
Right, his price is my concern too, but I can't leave him off my tickets. I think he's too consistent. Even if he doesn't win, he'll be around there, maybe second, third, or fourth. We'll see. All right, let's go down to number four, Renegade. He's 2 to 1 on the morning line. And he might have run the best race in the Kentucky Derby. He got bumped around at the start from the rail. He had to come from the back, although the race favored deep closers. What do you think of Renegade?
Renegade to me is the best horse of this crop. And in the last race, he drew from the one hole. He was bumped at the start and overcame all those troubles to just lost by a neck. Before that race, he overcame some slow pace in the San F. Davis in the Arkansas Derby. So I don't think the slow pace will hurt him too much. Of course, he's a horse that runs from behind, but he knows how to overcome those scenarios. The price would be low, really low, a short price, and I consider him on my tickets, but I'm trying to beat him because the price would be really short.
It might be fair, though, considering his accomplishments. I mean, he won the Arkansas Derby, second in the Kentucky Derby. Do you think if the pace is slow, that Irad Ortiz will adjust and try to make him sit closer?
He's not that deep closer like Golden Temple. I think he could run closer than Golden Temple.
All right. Well, he'll be on my ticket, but I'm not going to pick him on top. Let's go down to number 5, another long shot. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Otano, 20 to 1 on the morning line. And he was blown out by Further Ado in the Bluegrass Stakes at Keeneland by 11 lengths. And he also lost by 11 to Talk to Me Jimmy. Do you trust this horse at all or no?
No, I think he's too slow. I prefer Vitruvian Man at 30 to 1 than Latinho.
Yeah, I don't trust this horse either, but he might become a good horse down the line. I just don't see it this week. All right, let's go down to number 6, Growth Equity. And we might disagree on this horse. I think he has a good chance. His speed figures are improving, 92 to 94. He won the Peter Pan Stakes over Talk to Me Jimmy. And I know Talk to Me Jimmy came out of the Wood Memorial, but we saw Napoleon Solo and Iron Honor. They ran 1-2 in the Preakness out of the Wood Memorial. So what do you think of Growth Equity?
My concern with Growth Equity is the distance. I think he has a lot of sprint influence on the downside, and that will hurt him. After the Peter Pan, Chad Brown has had some doubts about him about running the Belmont Stakes. Probably it was a decision of the owner, Klaravich. But on pedigree, I think the horse can't handle the influence.
All right, he's going to be my top pick in this race. I know the dam side is questionable, but he is 12 to 1 on the morning line, and I think if he was really double digit odds, maybe it'll be worth taking a shot on him. All right, let's go down to number
Oh,
7, Commandment. He's 6 to 1 on the morning line, and I think you said you liked him. You could argue he didn't have the best trip in the Kentucky Derby as well. Maybe Luis Saez rushed him up to a better position, and then he got tired at the end. What do you think of Commandment and his trip in the Kentucky Derby?
okay. Commandment didn't have the best trip in the Kentucky Derby. He was a bit slow at the start, then had some trouble in the stretch, and he finished just 5 lengths behind the winner. He also had some lost ground. He's a really good horse, and I think he's going to be in the mix. If the Belmont State is over 12 furlongs, he's my pick. But this year is 10 furlongs. I'm considering him, but I think he's going to be third or fourth in this race.
I won't be surprised if he wins, but he's probably not for me. Let's go down to number 8, Emerging Market. And I believe this might be your top choice. He's 6 to 1 on the morning line, and he comes off a 10th place finish in the Kentucky Derby. He was fading too, but I heard that he had a problem with his shoe. It came off. What do you think?
Yes, Emerging Market is my top selection. He was unbeaten in 2 starts, and with only 2 starts, he ran in the Kentucky Derby. That was too much too soon. He had a good trip, and he faded a bit, but he just finished 7 lengths to the winner. He was a bit tired at the end, but now this is a different race, a race where the pace scenario would be a bit slow. He has some speed. I think he would sit behind Power Chief, and he would be in a really pretty good position. This horse, the distance I think is no problem for him. He's by Candy Ride, and the mare is by Empire Maker. The distance would be fine for him, and this is a horse that would be improving with races. Flying Pratt stays in the irons, so that there is also a plus.
I will say it's a good sign that Flavien Prat is on board because he was on board Growth Equity in the Peter Pan Stakes, so maybe he had the choice and he chose Emerging Market.
And both horses are owned by Claravis Stables.
All right, let's go down to number 9, Golden Tempo. And I know that Golden Tempo had the benefit of the pace in the Kentucky Derby, but this is a horse that likes 10 furlongs. And if you're doing a trifecta or superfecta, it'll be hard to keep him off your ticket. What do you think of Golden Tempo?
Golden Tape is a horse that I don't think he can win this race. but I think he usable on exotics since he needs. I think this is a horse that needs some pace to close. But he's really good, and at 10 furlongs, I think he could be in the superfect.
Right. He's just going to pass all the tired horses at the end. And who knows? He could get into Superfecta. He's 9-2 on the morning line. It just feels like last time was a time to have him on top. All right, let's go to our final bets and selections. I'm not 100% sure what my bet will be. What I might do is bet growth equity to win and put Chief Wallaby and Renegade and also, who was my third horse? Golden Tempo underneath him, or maybe back wheel growth equity underneath them. I'll have to think about it, or maybe I'll just do win in place on growth equity. What's your final selections and bet for the race?
Yes, my top selection is emerging market, and I will use underneath Renegade. I think he's going to run well. Golden Tempo is another horse that would be in the mix. Commandment, and why not Vitruvian Man on third or fourth spot?
All right, thanks for listening to our analysis of the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga. And good luck with your best this weekend. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, I think this is a race that you can find some value because the pace scenario is totally different to the Kentucky Derby. That's why I try to beat the closers. I think the closers are going to run well, but I'm trying to beat him with some horses that have some tactical speed.
All right, well said. Good luck with your best this weekend, and we'll see you guys soon. I'll have a recap of the Belmont Stakes next week.
Okay, good luck to all.